All right, hi everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah. I am your host. I'm coming to you from Spokane, Washington. It's where I live and I work and I raise my family and I do all of these crafty things that we're going to talk about. It's been 2 weeks. I was going to podcast last weekend. I had some technical issues and then I realized I didn't really have any content to show you anyways other than a pair of socks. And while I'm not doing this to show you content, it is way more fun for you to be able to see at least a couple of things if you're going to watch. So I decided to podcast every other week. So in hopes that there'll be 2 pairs of socks and possibly something else. Who knows? But we do have quite a bit to talk about today. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in. I have 2 pairs of socks. I have a shawl. I'm gonna show you the yarn that I'm gonna use for my 3rd pair of socks of 2022. And then at the very end, I do have winners for the 2021 Harry Potter Knit Along that happened October, November, December. So I have winners and we'll talk about that at the very end, but I'll keep that at the end just in case you are not interested in that. So anyways, it's been 2 weeks. I feel like when I wait this long to film, I don't remember what I've done. I have a hard enough time remembering what I've done in a week, let alone in 2 weeks. So that's interesting. But let's see. I went out on a couple sushi dates with my kiddos, which was really fun. I am planning, so we'll see if it happens either at the end of this podcast or the beginning of the podcast. I've filmed a little something every single day or taken pictures every single day since the last time I filmed, and I'm gonna add that. Like I said, it's either gonna be in the beginning or it'll be the end of this video, but that'll be kind of fun. I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm curious to know if you enjoy that. So I don't know, we will see. I'm trying to go through here to see what we specifically did, but it's basically just, we had a couple movie nights, which was great. We did go dishwasher hunting and washer and dryer hunting. Our dryer went out. That's something that we did since last time I had to go to the laundromat. Those of you who have to go to the laundromat all of the time probably go once a week, and so it's not so terrible, but I held off because our washer is fine, but our dryer finally went out and it makes this terrible squealing noise. I think it's the bearings, but I don't know how to fix it. And so we need to get a new one. And so I just held off thinking, well, maybe we'll just get one. Well, none were in stock for a couple weeks. And so finally I broke down. Everybody had gone through clothes and like, we have to get everybody's laundry done. It's been about 3 weeks. And it was like 9 loads. And it was ridiculous. It was a very awesome system. I mean, it went by really fast. I did 9 loads in like 2.5 hours, but still, like, lugging them all in and lugging them back into the house, no, not my favorite thing. But I think that was probably the most eventful thing that happened, I guess, and that's not too bad, right? I did start reading this book. I talked about it a little bit. I was pretty unsure of it. I'm still not very far. It's taken me a long time to get to where I'm at. I'm only on page 60. Use this for my bookmark. I don't actually have an official bookmark. It's called Local Women Missing. The intro is what took me a really long time to get through. It's very dark. And I don't mind dark books, but the prologue wasn't too bad, but Yeah, they talk about, this book is written from different individuals' perspectives, which I really like. And so each chapter isn't really chapter 1, chapter 2. It's just talking about them. And the way that she writes them, let me find a page so I can show you. Like, it says Delilah now. And then later on in the book, you'll see, like this one, Kate, 11 years before. So it kind of talks about them in their present tense, and then it skips back and has them talking as though it was, you know, however many years before. And they all seem to be them now and 11 years ago. And so there seem to be about 6 characters that main characters that you'll get introduced to in this book. And I'm just now, I just got done being introduced to Delilah, and then now I'm being introduced to Kate 11 years ago. I'm not gonna tell you it's really good yet. It's intense. It is intense. There are, it is not what I anticipated. The back of the book says, Shelby Thibault is the first to go missing. Then Meredith Dickey and her 6-year-old daughter, Delilah, vanish just blocks away from where Shelby was last seen, striking fear into their once peaceful community. After an elusive search that yields more questions than answers, the case eventually goes cold. Now, 11 years later, Delilah shockingly returns. Everyone wants to know what happened to her, but no one is prepared for what they'll find, and some people will stop at nothing to keep the truth buried. She is a phenomenal writer. I will tell you that. It is very triggering if you have fears, deep-seated fears of abduction or abuse or anything like that. And while none of those things have happened to me, it really gets to me. And so that is why this book is really, it's really hard. And it happens fast. She gets to the point pretty quick, and it's hard, especially since the first character that's introduced is Delilah, and she's, you know, the kiddo. It's just hard. So anyways, I would say I'm gonna plow through this. I did order a new book, which is supposed to be here Wednesday. I have today and tomorrow off. Obviously today's Sunday, and tomorrow is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and so we have tomorrow off work, and I'm gonna see if I can't get through this a little bit more. Very excited about the new book that's coming. My whole goal was to get through this by the end of January, so it's not like I don't have time, because I did want to read 12 books this year, and this being my first one. Excuse me, but it is very difficult to read. Very dark, very dark. Okay, so socks. I cast onto my first pair of socks not last weekend, but the weekend before. I showed you guys, I think I filmed that weekend on a Saturday, and pretty much right after the podcast, I cast onto this pair of socks. And I got these done, and I kept the tag that I found in the ball, which normally doesn't ever happen. And so this yarn was Peepaloo Fields in the Smitten colorway. This was her 80-20 blend. 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And the green, it's not really showing up on camera as great, but it's like a pistachio kind of color green. Really like it. So I think these turned out great. These are gonna go in my sock bin. I'm pretty excited about them. I knit them as per usual, cuff down, 2.0 millimeter size US 0 Knit Pro carbons. Knitter's Pride carbons, not Knit Pro. DPNs. I did 20, 60, 16, 60, decreased until 16 stitches on, you know, the top of the foot and 16 on the bottom, and called it a day. So I'm pretty happy with those. Oh, and if you'll notice, I found my other sock blocker. The things I'm finding. I hope to find my other needles pretty soon. That would be really fantastic. The ones that I lost and then I bought new ones, and I bought new ones in like the 4-inch interchangeable tips, and I thinking that I would like them because then I could use them. I could actually use that 16-inch cable for the Hiya Sharps. I actually don't like them. I like the way the 5-inch needles feel in my hand better, so I bought these needles that I don't even like, but whatever, they get the job done. I just want to find my old ones. Okay, and so last weekend I cast onto this pair of socks, and I thought this was kind of fitting. I couldn't remember what the skein of yarn was. It was one that I had dyed years and years and years ago, until I started knitting with it, and then I realized, oh my gosh, this was the Hufflepuff skein from the Harry Potter yarn that I used to dye when I was part of O Loops. So this is Hufflepuff. So if you have this skein of yarn somewhere sitting around, it's most likely gonna knit up like this. Yeah, so funny. So this one's also on an 80-20 blend. So got those done. It is kind of funny how they kind of look similar. So I'm ready for a change. Now that I have those done, I did pull out some scraps. I didn't want to use all brand new yarn, but I wanted something festive, and I wanted to also be kind of lazy and not wind any more yarn. So I pulled these out, and I'm not successful at doing scrappy socks because 1, I hate weaving in all the ends. 2, it's not, I don't know why. It's more fiddly in a way, and so I give up, and I usually chuck them to the side. But I've always loved this yarn from Hedgehog Fibers. It's their sock yarn, and this is the Gold Rush, I believe it's Gold Rush colorway. And I've knit with this for multiple things. Like I put this in a shawl, I have this in a sweater, and this is all I have left finally. And so I have this old skein that I dyed up years ago. I had dyed like 6 skeins of this yarn, and it was beautiful. It is beautiful. But I had these stupid little dogs at the time, and they took them all outside and ran around, and I was left with like 50 balls of yarn by the time I salvaged most of it. So it never became the sweater it was intended to be. But I have put it into different, like multiple different projects, just slowly using it up. But I think I'm gonna start with the smallest ball and knit my typical sock and see where it gets to me. Where it gets. Anyways, and then finish off with this. Then I will knit the second sock with the bigger ball and knit to the same portion and finish with this, in theory. We'll see. But that's my plan. And I plan to cast these on today, which I'm really excited about. I just need another mindless project going. I'm drinking drip coffee in the mug my oldest daughter got me for Christmas. It's just this people person. I just love this cup. Like, it feels great in my hands. It seems to be the one that I gravitate towards when I'm drinking coffee on the weekend now. I have lots of cups. I go through phases. the last knitting project that I've been working on, I'm using Malabrigo Rios in the Cocoa 624 Cocoa colorway. I love this yarn. I had originally bought this for a sweater, but how many brown sweaters does one person need? So I had three skeins of it because I had intended for it to be a color work sweater, and Andrea Mowry one, it was, I don't remember the name. I bought all the yarn for it though. Surprise, surprise. And none of it has been used for that sweater. But I am designing a shawl out of it, and right now it looks like nothing much than anything that you have ever seen before. It's just starting out as a triangle shawl. The intention behind this shawl is just, I'm not going to give away too much, but I want it to be a satisfying, comforting, cozy knit. That's all I'm going to say about that. I do plan for it to take 3 full skeins of worsted weight yarn, and so it's going to be huge. And I do intend for it to take some other yarn too, but I haven't figured out the yardage for that yet. I'm just kind of going to weigh it as I go. I had wanted to have that pattern released yesterday. I was like, I can get that done by the 15th, right? I could if I actually worked on it. That's like 1 day's worth of work, and then I stopped, but I'm gonna hope to have that done soon. I don't know when that is gonna be. I'm not gonna give anybody a timeline because I tend to fail on that drastically, but that's okay. So I also wanted to possibly, when I get this done, I think I want to cast onto another sweater. Yes, I know I need to finish my other purple sweater first, so I'll probably do that. I haven't made a plan of what kind of sweater I want to cast onto anyways, so who knows. But so I guess that's all my knitting content, you guys. I don't have a whole lot this week. Very minor amount actually. I thought I would have more, but socks are pretty straightforward to talk about. Somebody had asked at one point, and it's been a while, if I would do like a tutorial on socks. And you know, I feel like there are 9 million out there, but if you really want me to, I would totally work along with you on that. I'm just casting onto my socks right now. I don't use the long tail cast on. I use a different one. I don't even remember the name of it. It's one where you, it's like the long tail, you'll grab this one, but the one I use, you grab this one underneath and then this one and pull it through. If that makes any sense. The long tail, you grab the outside of your thumb, but this one you go under and grab the inside. I like that it makes the cuff a little bit stretchier. Not by a whole lot, but enough that you can get it over your heel. Pretty much it's my go-to cast on for just about everything. I feel like the long tail cast on just, it doesn't give you enough stretch at all. And it doesn't block out as nicely. Like the rest of your yarn expands a little bit and it just doesn't. So I don't like that. But this one seems to be pretty great for most every project, unless you need to do like a tubular cast on or something like that. So anyways, we should probably talk about this Harry Potter knit along that happened for 3 months. I missed it so much, but I didn't get to be a part of it this year. I got swamped with work that I wasn't anticipating. And then, you know, life just kind of got in the way, but I had the most amazing people step forward as moderators and just kind of help me out, which was incredible. They pretty much did all the work. Really, I just came up with the idea and they did all the work. And it was so much fun. So October, the challenge was to knit a sweater. From start to finish in the month of October. And I was super excited about that. I cast onto that purple sweater that month. I don't know how many people actually completed a sweater. I want to see if I can just log on really, really quick while I'm talking about this. Oh, my phone's being silly. Anyways, a lot of people finished a sweater, which was incredible. So many beautiful ones, lots of inspiration. I suggest if any of you want to pop onto Ravelry and go find that Harry Potter group, you would enjoy seeing all of the sweaters that they made. Month 2 was to knit a shawl or something that goes around your neck that is 2 colors. It did have a little bit of a yardage requirement, so that way, you know, people would get that done, but I was not a huge stickler on it because the whole idea was to have fun with it. I am not good with the 9 million rules. Like, I don't understand the point of it if it's just a for fun thing. So anyways, I know that the 2 colors was pretty complicated at some points, but I had never intended for it to be complicated. Like, the idea was just 2 colors. I didn't care. Like, this is 2 colors. You know, these are 2 colors. Didn't need to be in the same kind of yarn. It didn't need to be just 2 different colors. So anyways, that was really fun, looking at everybody's projects for that. The third challenge was to knit 3 items, right? I think I called the second challenge Dueling Wands, because there's 2 colors, 2 wands. And then the third challenge was some trio thing, golden trio, you know, because Harry, Ron, and Hermione. So just 3 accessories. You know, if you want a knit hat and a pair of mittens and another hat, or a hat and a pair of socks and a pair of mittens, or, once again, not putting 3 accessories. Then you could enter into the finished object thread. So we also split everybody into houses. So everybody was playing for their own house, which is kind of fun. They went through the whole sorting hat process for Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin. And then I had 2 knitting, I don't want to say challenges, but they were just fun things that were happening the whole entire time. So we did have a blanket knit along. You could use a blanket that you had already been working on to just try and get that done. It was more of a little bit of an incentive, I guess, for me at the time, to get some of my languishing blankets done. I didn't get any of them done, but it was fun. I did pull them out a little bit and work on them. And then I did have a free Dobby sock thread. And so every time you finished a pair of socks, you could just post those in that thread. So it was super fun. At the very end of the day, I decided I had pulled some stuff from my own stash, and I did have 1, 2, 3 people send some prize donations, quite a bit of yarn. 2 people sent yarn donations and 1 person sent stitch markers. So thank you to everybody who did that. I was able to put together 10 prizes. I decided that the winning house would receive 3 house prizes. So like a first, second, and third people drawn. The runner-up house would receive 2 house prizes, and then the last 2 houses would just receive 1. I did pull 1 prize for the socks, I pulled 1 prize for the blanket, and then I pulled 1 prize winner for each main challenge. So I will show you kind of an idea . Here's an idea, sorry for the crinkling, of what each prize package will receive. They'll get a pattern. These were all patterns from me. You'll get 3 skeins of yarn. They're all different. All of them have labels. That was really hard to try and go through and find ones that have labels. And every one will also receive a bag. All of the bags came from my stash. So, and then they'll also receive like an extra. Sometimes it's a stitch marker. Sometimes it's a different goodie, but some sort of a extra of some sort. I thought that was kind of a fun prize package. They're all kind of color coordinated. Like this one has 6 and 7 fiber, some O loops. And this one also has Appy. I don't know. So, like I said, kind of fun. I tried my best to color coordinate them all. Not everybody's getting the same pattern. I think there's 4 different patterns that I had printed to use. So, without further ado, let's discuss prizes. So, the winning house, the house is in order. The winning house was Gryffindor. House number 2 in second place was Ravenclaw. The houses that tied for last place was Hufflepuff and Slytherin. So, Gryffindor. Nope, Stella, do not start. Nope, 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 get down. Stella, come here, come here, come here, come here. Thank you. Okay, so, houses. Gryffindor. Your 3 winners are Randy Rat Crafts, Tangled Creative, and Studio Von Design. I'm gonna send you guys a message on Ravelry too, letting you know. Ravenclaw. Forgive me if I pronounce some of these Ravelry usernames wrong, but Ravenclaw, it's Petra, P-E-T-R-Y-H, and Lucci Lucy. Hufflepuff is Rotil, and Slytherin is Ms. Chiz, M-S-C-H-I-Z. So congratulations, you guys. You won the house prizes. Like I said, I'll send you a message on Ravelry. You'll just need to send me your address, and then I can get those prizes out to you. The free Dobby sock challenge. I did a random number generator for that prize. And that was entry number 37, Falula. You won that prize. For the blanket prize, random number generator pulled number 3, which is Victorian Studio. For the October 1st through October 31st main challenge, which was the pullover challenge, that is, the winner is entry number 6, Knit to Be. For November's Dueling Wands challenge is entry number 9, Saucy Minx. Congratulations. And last but not least, December's monthly challenge was entry number 20, Mostly Munchies. Oh, here goes the dog again. Stella. Come here, come here, come here. Come here, come here. Thank you. She likes to bark at anybody walking by her house. Stop. But I'm not gonna pause. I can't pause on the iPad, so we just have to deal with the barking for just a minute more. Anyways, congratulations to everybody who... Stop. Congratulations to anybody who participated, everyone who participated. There is some chatter about doing a spring one that will just be smaller, but we definitely are going to do a large one again next October, November, December. More information about that one will come out most likely August, September, something like that. Shh, no more. So anyways, okay, you guys, clearly it's time for me to log off. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your holiday weekend if you get a long weekend. I hope to chat with you again in 2 weeks. I'm pretty excited because we've got a lot planned over the next 2 weeks, so I'll have way more to talk about then. Anyways, all right, talk to you later. Bye.